going the distance with local sports. This is the xSports Network.
Jack Davis Insurance, located at 201 West Gain Street in Lawrenceburg, has you covered through life's obstacles. Jack Davis specializes in group insurance for businesses and institutions of all sizes. With coverage for life, accidents, cancer, critical illness, short-term disability, dental, and vision, Jack Davis can customize a plan to meet every need. Now available Medicare plans for seniors. Contact Paige Davis at 931-492-9284 today for Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage, and prescription drug plan insurance. Serving Lawrence and surrounding counties since 1987, call the team at Jack Davis Insurance today at 931-242-5225.
At Florida Mid-South Realty, we pride ourselves on our family values, professional service, and a deep local knowledge. With a small town feel and a personal touch, we're here to help you navigate the real estate process with ease. Whether buying, selling, or renting, you can trust us to guide you every step of the way. And don't forget to catch Florida Rockstars, our live podcast every Tuesday morning at 8. Florida Rockstars, rocking the real estate news and all things local. Florida Mid-South Realty, your hometown real estate experts.
There's a reason owners Tyler and Cindy McDowell chose the name In Service for their towing business. They did because it's their goal to be in service for you on the day that you need them the most. In-Service Towing is now known far and wide for their response time because minutes matter when you're broken down. Or their 24/7 availability, you can call them anytime for service. Their professional team with years of experience and their fairness, plus their know-how in dealing with the unexpected. But the thing that In-Service is known best for is how they treat their customers, and that's like family. When you need them, call them 931-843-9098.
There are now more ways to save at Quick Mart. Become a Quick Club member and easily earn rewards on qualifying purchases at Quick Mart convenience stores using the Quick Club app, available on the Apple App Store and Google Play. To save on fuel for work, use the Fuel Rewards Pro app to earn 5 cents a gallon on work fill-ups and redeem the savings for yourself. To get started, visit fuelrewards.com/pro or download the app in the Apple App Store and Google Play.
You count on your coat to keep you covered through the winter months, your hat to keep you covered in the summer sun, your umbrella to keep you covered in stormy weather. And you can count on Marcus Insurance to keep you covered too. Marcus Insurance can help you find the right insurance policy that fits your individual needs. For personal, life, health, or business insurance, we've got you covered. Marcus Insurance, providing peace of mind since 1969.
All right, we'd like to get our award show started here this evening. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out here. Our third annual xSports Network Award Show and our second Hall of Fame ceremony. When we thought about bringing it out here and having this award show, we thought, maybe about 80 to 100 people will show up. We are well north of 150. You guys have packed out the house here tonight, and we are definitely excited about that. What a great year we had in 2025. A lot of state championships, a lot of state champion winners, a lot of great athletes, and we can't wait to celebrate them tonight. So our first award will be in the sport of volleyball. Well, redemption was the theme all season for the Loretto volleyball team. The Lady Mustangs got so close to their ultimate prize of a state title in back-to-back years, but came up just a bit short. However, in 2024, it was a different story. This team was on a mission, and one of the captains of the ship was Becca Heidemann. The senior did everything from serving to setting to slamming down a bunch of kills to put the Lady Mustangs in the best position to win. She had 721 assists, 369 kills, 304 digs, 117 aces, and 39 blocks. She won all district, all region, all state. The top it off was named the Class 2A tournament MVP, but most importantly, Lady Mustangs brought home a state title. Our volleyball player of the year is Becca Heidemann. Becca is unable to join us here tonight, but we will get to award to her as soon as possible. Our next award will be in football. Now, the Loretto football team set the bar really high in 2023, an undefeated season that went along with a high-powered offense. Certainly have a lot to live up to in 2024, and one of the men leading that charge was Mason Tidwell. The junior quarterback completed 60% of his passes for almost 1,600 yards to go along with 19 touchdowns to just 7 interceptions. He also added 574 yards on the ground, including 8 scores. He helped lead the Mustangs to their 5th straight postseason appearance as the second best in school history, that stretch. Our football offensive player of the year from Loretto is Mason Tidwell.
All right, the recipient of the xSports Award for Defensive Football Player is a gift that just kind of fell out of the sky for Summertown this year. Quint Smith. His senior season for Summertown, which was an 8-3 season, where SHS hosted a playoff game for the second time in school history. Quint had 118 tackles, 3 for a loss. He had 3 sacks and 1 interception. And he wasn't that bad on offense either. If you needed 2 or 3 yards to get a first down to ice the game, he was automatic. But the Defensive Football Player of the Year award for the 2024 football season goes to the man in the middle, my hero, Summertown High School senior Quint Smith.
Y'all gonna have to bear with me now. For the girls basketball player of the year, so let me find it. It is on the girls basketball side, one name that has been a dominant figure over the past 4 years, and that's Allie Weathers. Quite frankly, she can do it all. Score, yes, she can do that. Rebound, of course she can do that. Rack up the assist, yes, she can do that too. Block shots and cause havoc on defense, you know she can do that as well. Weathers was an all-district, all-region, all-state selection. She was also a finalist for the Class 2A men's basketball, averaging 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. Allie Weathers is our girls basketball player of the year. For our next one, on the boys' side, one of the best stories in the state of Tennessee was Loretto. The Mustangs racked up a ton of records and became the first team in 15 seasons to go undefeated while winning a state title. One of the biggest reasons for their success was Grayson Burleson. The senior was named All-District, All-Region, All-State, BCAT, Class 2A Player of the Year, and a Class 2A Mr. Basketball finalist. Our boys' basketball player of the year is Grayson Burleson. Unfortunately, Grayson couldn't be here tonight, but we'll make sure to get his award to him within the near future. Thank you.
All right, next we're going to give out the award for baseball. It is, it's been fun watching this kid play his high school career. It's going to be Alex Bedford. He gave out a good story. It didn't happen overnight. He's always been good, but he took it to another level, and you can tell the hard work that Alex has put in throughout his high school career and now even on to the next level. Through the season, he was a district tournament champion. He rose into being one of the best players in the state. Bedford hit .523 with 10 home runs, 13 doubles, 32 walks in his senior year, helping the Wildcats to another spot in the region tournament. Our baseball player of the year is Alex Bedford.
Something that doesn't happen a whole lot, I assume, with these xSports awards. The award for softball is going to a freshman at Summertown, Izzy Garland. Izzy had a .509 batting average in her freshman season with 58 hits out of 114 at bats, .559 on-base percentage while slugging .763. She had 15 doubles, 4 homers, and 33 RBIs in her freshman season. To quote her high school coach, Wes Woods, Izzy was a dream to coach this past year. The pressure I put her under by starting her as a freshman at shortstop, I'm sure was difficult. However, you would have never known it, and she not only handled it, but she excelled. We're extremely fortunate in the softball program to see what she does the next 3 seasons. I also echo that. I can't wait to see what Izzy does next at Summertown. Very fortunate to have her. The xSports Award for softball goes to Summertown freshman Miss Izzy Garland. Well, stop me if you've heard this before. This past season, the Summertown girls tennis team won the state championship in both doubles and as a team. So just some things never change, death and taxes and that. Lady Eagles brought home their 4th straight team title, their 5th overall this past spring. Helping them this past season was Miss Emma Perry. I should also mention her dad being here. She's 2nd generation Summertown tennis. While earning all district and all region honors, Perry, along with her cohort Anna Lee Kelly, brought home the doubles state crown once again. So that's 6 straight doubles state titles for the program. I don't know if Emma has enough fingers for all the rings that she's earned. Our girls tennis player of the year is Emma Perry. And of course, while everybody's attention is on the girls' tennis team with all their success, quietly, the boys' tennis team seems to be improving year after year. On the boys' side, the program continues to get better. The Eagles brought home more growth and success in 2025 by becoming the district runners-up. One of the big reasons for that was Jaden Garland. As a member of the all-district team, he helped lead Summertown to new heights this past season. With some time and continued effort, this program could be bringing home a lot of trophies as well, like the girls. Our boys tennis player of the year is Jaden Garland.
Now we're moving on to boys golf, and one of the great golfers over at Summertown, it feels like our next winner, frankly, has been at Summertown for the last decade or so. He's won this award before and is no stranger to winning on the golf course. 2024 was a bit of a different year for him, coming off an injury. He had the battle back to rebound in a big way, and that he sure did, finishing 14th overall in the Class A state tournament. He also shot the lowest round the two-day event at 70. He also helped lead the Eagles to a 4th place overall finish. Our boys golf player of the year is Cole Campbell. Fortunately, Cole couldn't be with us tonight, but we will get that award to him shortly.
All right. Summertown has a lot of multiple sport athletes that can get the job done in a variety of sports. Ella Busby is one of the many that can excel in whatever she participates in. She had a great season on the hardwood, helping lead the Lady Eagles to a state tournament appearance. However, it's on the golf course where she made the most noise. An all-district, all-region, and an all-state performer in 2024, Busby finished 5th overall in the Class Single A state golf tournament in Sevierville. Ella Busby is our girls golf player of the year. Each and every year, the girls' soccer program at Lawrence County continues to improve. Not only do you see it in the record books, but in the wins and loss columns as well. One of the biggest reasons for the steady turnaround has been the play of Chloe Wilburn, a 4-year starter for the Lady Cats. She led the team with 10 goals and 2 assists. Most importantly, she is leaving the program much better than when she found it. Our girls' soccer player of the year is Chloe Wilburn. As mentioned before, in the fall, the Lawrence County boys soccer team continues to make big strides each and every year. The Wildcats have now posed back-to-back winning seasons, setting the program in the right direction. One of the biggest culprits for the turnaround is Kevin Delgado. He brought leadership and a standard to the program that will be felt for several years to come. Just like on the girls' side, the Lawrence County High School boys soccer program is in a much better place because of guys like him. Our boys soccer player of the year is Kevin Delgado.
It's time to give out our final Athlete of the Year award. Before we do, we like to give a shout out here to Stanley Wilson, who's playing Vanna White for us today, handing out all the awards. So it's It's good to have Stanley back with us. Well, it's now time to introduce our Player of the Year. Now, on to the final award of the night. The award is given to the student athlete that excelled not just in one, but in multiple sports at a very high level. This year, we had a ton of really good candidates that could have won this award. The one we chose was an all-state performer, not one, but two sports. She sent the world ablaze on the basketball court, leading her team to back-to-back state tournament appearances. She also led her team to a state title on the volleyball hardwood. She averaged 20 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists in basketball, adding 511 kills, 408 digs, 66 blocks, and 64 aces. Our 2025 Athlete of the Year goes to Loretto's Allie Weathers. We do have one more award to give out. It's our Flora Mid-South Realty Award, so we'd like to invite up Nathan Cavins, Holly Cavins, and Teresa Flora.
Good evening. It is so great to be a part of our community. It's so great to watch our kids and watch them grow and achieve what they get to achieve. And we may not be, I'm not from Lawrence County or Tennessee originally, but Tennessee is my home. And I'm so excited to watch the athletes and how they grow and learn teamwork and learn to consequences and learn. There's so much to learn. My son was also in sports growing up, and as a parent, it's just so heartwarming to watch the changes and the growth that they go through sports. So I congratulate you as parents to supporting your kids and helping them through sports and the lessons in life that brings. And so with that, we come up with an award, and Holly's going to talk a little bit about what that award is.
Since the beginning of the sports season, every week we partner with xSports Network to recognize a local student athlete. Each weekly winner has been put into the grand prize drawing for a $1,000 Amazon gift card. So let's pick the winner.
They get the gift card this evening, and it is sponsored by Flora Mid-South Realty.
Libby Sanders from Loretta. Libby couldn't be here this afternoon, so we will make sure she gets that.
Thank you.
Right now, we're going to take a bit of an intermission. Kevin says you got 3 minutes and 22 seconds to go use the bathroom. That's how many spots we got to run through, so we'll take a bit of an intermission before we start the Hall of Fame.
Jack Davis Insurance, located at 201 West Gain Street in Lawrenceburg, has you covered through life's obstacles. Jack Davis specializes in group insurance for businesses and institutions of all sizes. With coverage for life, accidents, cancer, critical illness, short-term disability, dental, and vision, Jack Davis can customize a plan to meet every need. Now available Medicare plans for seniors. Contact Paige Davis at 931-492-9284 today for Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage, and prescription drug plan insurance. Serving Lawrence and surrounding counties since 1987, call the team at Jack Davis Insurance today at 931-242-5225.
At Florida Mid-South Realty, we pride ourselves on our family values, professional service, and a deep local knowledge. With a small town feel and a personal touch, we're here to help you navigate the real estate process with ease. Whether buying, selling, or renting, you can trust us to guide you every step of the way. And don't forget to catch Florida Rockstars, our live podcast every Tuesday morning at 8. Florida Rockstars, rocking the real estate news and all things local. Florida Mid-South Realty, your hometown real estate experts.
There's a reason owners Tyler and Cindy McDowell chose the name In Service for their towing business. They did because it's their goal to be in service for you on the day that you need them the most. In-Service Towing is now known far and wide for their response time because minutes matter when you're broken down, or their 24/7 availability. You can call them anytime for service. Their professional team with years of experience and their fairness, plus their know-how in dealing with the unexpected. But the thing that In-Service is known best for is how they treat their customers, and that's like family. When you need them, call them 931-843-9098.
There are now more ways to save at Quick Mart. Become a Quick Club member and easily earn rewards on qualifying purchases at Quick Mart convenience stores using the Quick Club app, available in the Apple App Store and Google Play. To save on fuel for work, use the Fuel Rewards Pro app to earn 5 cents a gallon on work fill-ups and redeem the savings for yourself. To get started, visit fuelrewards.com/pro or download the app in the Apple App Store and Google Play.
You count on your coat to keep you covered through the winter months, your hat to keep you covered in the summer sun, your umbrella to keep you covered in stormy weather. And you can count on Marcus Insurance to keep you covered too. Marcus Insurance can help you find the right insurance policy that fits your individual needs. For personal, life, health, or business insurance, we've got you covered. Marcus Insurance, providing peace of mind since 1969.
Jack Davis Insurance, located at 201 West Gain Street in Lawrenceburg, has you covered through life's obstacles. Jack Davis specializes in group insurance for businesses and institutions of all sizes. With coverage for life, accidents, cancer, critical illness, short-term disability, dental, and vision, Jack Davis can customize a plan to meet every need. Now available Medicare plans for seniors. Contact Paige Davis at 931-492-9284 today for Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage, and prescription drug plan insurance. Serving Lawrence and surrounding counties since 1987, call the team at Jack Davis Insurance today at 931-242-5225.
At Florida Mid-South Realty, we pride ourselves on our family values, professional service, and a deep local knowledge. With a small town feel and a personal touch, we're here to help you navigate the real estate process with ease. Whether buying, selling, or renting, you can trust us to guide you every step of the way. And don't forget to catch Florida Rockstars, our live podcast every Tuesday morning at 8. Florida Rockstars, rocking the real estate news and all things local. Florida Mid-South Realty, your hometown real estate experts.
There's a reason owners Tyler and Cindy McDowell chose the name In Service for their towing business. They did because it's their goal to be in service for you on the day that you need them the most. In-service towing is now known far and wide for their response time because minutes matter when you're broken down. Or their 24/7 availability, you can call them anytime for service. Their professional team with years of experience and their fairness, plus their know-how in dealing with the unexpected. But the thing that In-Service is known best for is how they treat their customers, and that's like family. When you need them, call them 931-843-9098.
There are now more ways to save at Quick Mart. Become a Quick Club member and easily earn rewards on qualifying purchases at Quick Mart convenience stores using the Quick Club app, available in the Apple App Store and Google Play. To save on fuel for work, use the Fuel Rewards Pro app to earn 5 cents a gallon on work fill-ups and redeem the savings for yourself. To get started, visit fuelrewards.com/pro or download the app in the Apple App Store and Google Play.
You count on your coat to keep you covered through the winter months, your hat to keep you covered in the summer sun, your umbrella to keep you covered in stormy weather. And you can count on Marcus Insurance to keep you covered too. Marcus Insurance can help you find the right insurance policy that fits your individual needs. For personal, life, health, or business insurance, we've got you covered. Marcus Insurance, providing peace of mind since 1969.
And welcome back to the xSports Awards and Lawrence County Sports Hall of Fame Banquet. This event, by the way, is being live streamed tonight, so that's why we are taking time cues and playing a few commercials of our sponsors. By the way, our sponsors I do want to again thank for this evening: Flora Mid-South Realty, Jack Davis Insurance, Heine's Barbecue, Quick Mart Convenience Stores, Citizens Bank of Lawrence County, Loretto Branch, Marcus Insurance, and United Church. Again, welcome back to our broadcast and for our gathering of the athletes and former athletes and coaches, administrators for tonight's event. Real quick, I went off script and forgot 2 of my staff, and 2 of our family members, actually. So I apologize to Will Pettis, who has been a wonderful part of our program from the very beginning. Without Will, a tremendous amount of the things that we're able to accomplish would not be possible. And so for that, we're grateful for Will Pettis and all that he does for the xSports Network. Will, thank you. Thank you. And one more, and he was not able to be here because he also is a broadcast meteorologist. Many of you have come to hear and know Taylor Plott as one of the newest play-by-play announcers on the xSports Network over the past few months. Taylor is from Huntsville. He is a former baseball player, went to school playing baseball, and came here to do weather and walked in and said, "Oh my gosh, y'all do sports too?" And has become an integral part of the xSports family. Taylor is a wonderful announcer and a wonderful person as well. Again, he's covering the evening shift at the Weather Center this evening and not able to be here tonight, but we do want to say a special thank you and recognize Taylor Plott as well. With that said, we are transitioning the other part of our program this evening to something that is very, very special. Kevin said a few years ago, why don't we have something that honors athletes who gave their all for this county, influential members of the sports community. Some people maybe played as a child for a while and grew up, had a career, but gave back in wonderful ways to make sports prevalent in this community's history. And we have found that Lawrence County is a very rich community with a wonderful history of athletes that goes back many, many generations, probably further back than what anybody actually knows, except for a few small group of people. And we want to make that more well-known. And so Kevin's passion became, what if we started a Hall of Fame to honor players, coaches, administrators, broadcasters, influential people for the sports community. And we are our second year in, and to present the 2025 class of the Lawrence County Sports Hall of Fame, please welcome back to the stage, A.J. Good.
Coming from a different town and a different community growing up and moving here like I did 5 years ago, just learning about the history of Lawrence County is so rich, it is so deep, and it's fascinating. I'm really looking forward to this tonight to learn of all of our Hall of Fame inductees and the impact they've had on our community. Our first induction speaker tonight is Nick Moore. If he can read his cell phone, it will be Nick Moore.
It's kind of sad when you get up here and you're kind of a little nervous. This is one of those times where a lot of your heroes are here in front of you staring you down, and then here I am looking at my cell phone to get my speech I prepared. So my presentation for tonight is for Mr. Pat Augustine. Pat was a 4-year letterman and outstanding athlete in basketball and football at Lord High School from 1955 to 1958. During his senior citizen, Lord have mercy, during his senior year, I told you guys, I'm nervous. Coach Turner, I'm going to apologize. You always told me if you're nervous, you're not prepared. I wrote all this out. I'm prepared. I'm just a little nervous. I'm getting old. Anyways, during 1958, when he was a senior at Lord High School, he did get to witness the Lord High School girls basketball team win their first state championship in school history. Pat also went on to be an end at the University of Tennessee. Much like AJ, our counterpart over here, with the xSports, he struggles with pronouncing names like Ezel. AJ likes to say Azel. So Pat, along in his junior year, he decided that he was tired of the announcers at the University of Tennessee calling him Pat Augustine. So he decided to legally add an E to his last name to force them to call him Pat Augustine. After graduation at the University of Tennessee, Pat and his wife, whom he met there at the University of Tennessee, moved to Florence, Alabama, and bought I can't even read my own typing, bought the Towles House of Carpet store in Florence, Alabama in 1967. He was an avid Tennessee football fan, a UT Alumni Association member, and a football season ticket holder until his death in 2005. We are happy to have some of Pat's relatives with us tonight who will be receiving this award on his behalf. And as a former Mustang myself, I am honored to present Pat Augustine as the newest member of the Lawrence County Sports Hall of Fame. Yeah, take pictures. Thank you. Yes, sir. I'd like to point out for any of our inductees or those picking up the award on their behalf, if you want to say a few words, you're more than welcome to. Our next induction speaker is John Ivey.
Good evening, everyone. I graduated in 2007, and I had the honor to play for Coach Burleson from 2001 to 2007. During those years, I learned far more than just playing baseball. I learned what it means to be disciplined, to push through adversity, and to give everything you have for the team. Coach Burleson wasn't just a coach, he was a mentor who truly cared about his players. He believed in us when we always didn't believe in ourselves, and his influence was a huge reason I was able to take my game to the next level, and I'll always be thankful for that. Coach Burleson's career as a head coach is one for the books. With over 600 career wins across both baseball and softball, he led his teams to incredible heights. His baseball teams racked up 317 wins, 5 state tournament appearances, and a state championship in 2009. His softball teams tallied 308 wins, 6 state tournament appearances, and 2 state titles in 2018 and 2021. But before all that, Coach was an outstanding player himself. In 1992, he pitched back-to-back shutouts in the region tournament, beating Mount Pleasant and Columbia Academy. Then he started both the first and last games of the state tournament that year and brought home the school's first baseball state title. Coach Burson was also named the TBCA Class A Mr. Baseball that same year. When he wasn't pitching, he played nearly every position on the field except catcher. His versatility and leadership as a player were clear signs of the coach he would become. After high school, Coach Burson continued his playing career at Martin Methodist, further sharpening his skills and love for the game. Tonight we celebrate far more than just the wins and the championships. We celebrate the character, the leadership, and the heart that Coach Burson brought to every practice, every game, and every player he mentored. Coach, thank you for everything, for believing in us, for showing us what it means to work hard, and for giving us the tools to succeed both on and off the field. Congratulations on this well-deserved honor, and welcome to the Lawrence County Sports Hall of Fame.
Our next induction speaker is Jonathan Weathers.
Good evening, and tonight I have the privilege, because this is a special night for me, I get to see four of my best friends, Cedric Wallace, Jana Killen, Mr. Tom Cruz, and Mr. Jim Thompson be inducted into this great honor. When Mr. Cruz would introduce himself to anybody, he would always say, "My name is Tom Cruise, not to be confused with the actor of the same name." Always. I've known Mr. Cruz as a student, as one of his players, as a colleague, but most of all as a friend. As a student, I spent just a little bit of time in his office. As a colleague, he spent a whole lot of time in mine. Mr. Cruz paddled me one time, and one time only. That's all it took. We had gone to the Crockett Park to have our pictures made for superlatives, and that was about 10 o'clock, 10:30. We drove out, and they said, "Y'all go there and come straight back." That was 10:30. Well, sixth period, we had basketball. So we thought, they won't miss us. They know where we're at. So we came back about 1:30, and Mr. Cruz was waiting at the front door for us. So where y'all been? So we've been to the park, get a picture made. He said, that was 10:30. It's 1:30. Come in here. And he fried us, all three of us. One time, he only had to paddle me one time. We go down to basketball practice, get changed into our basketball gear. Coach Benson comes out of the office and he says, "Come here." So where y'all been? Said, "We went to get a picture made, Coach." That was at 10:30. You didn't get back here till after 1. Come in here. And he paddled us. So one of the things he taught us as players is don't skip school. It's detrimental to your health. I couldn't sit down for 4 days. But Mr. Cruz had a vision. My freshman year, I went to the high school over on Lafayette Street. That was our freshman year. And then we got a new school. So they brought about baseball. So baseball now becomes a sport at Lawrence County High School, and Mr. Cruz is chosen to be the coach. We didn't have a field. Well, at that time, we didn't even have a cafeteria. We ate our lunch sitting on carpet. Big rolls of carpet. They would cater in our lunches. The gym wasn't complete, so we had to go back over to Kaufman to Lafayette Street and play our basketball games. So to play our baseball games, we had to go down to Flanagan Field. Well, the next year or so, we decided we wanted a field at Lawrence County High School. So we took the fence down where they had some cows and made a baseball field. That baseball field was made by a bunch of kids and Mr. Cruz with no money and just a lot of farm equipment. No modern day equipment. We went out on Red Hill Road and got some red dirt off the side of the roads to make the mound. Not like today. But I'm thankful, as I looked at that field, and I think about that field in my mind, and I go out there and look at that field today, that bears his name, Tom Cruise Field. And we got one of the finest fields in the whole mid-state area. Mr. Cruz was a principal at Lawrence County High School from 1977 to 1983. He spent about 40 years in education, 38 in the county system, 2 at the Catholic Church as their principal. He was a simple coach, real simple. Real simple. Mr. Cruz had signals that you wouldn't believe. Nobody was going to steal Mr. Cruz's signals. You know how baseball players are all doing this. Mr. Cruz was real simple. If you got on first and he wanted you to steal second, he would point at you and point at second. Tell the truth? Real simple. But he took a bunch of kids that were enthusiastic about the game of baseball and gave us an opportunity to play high school baseball. Several of us got an opportunity to go to the next level and play because of that opportunity. Mr. Cruz is also a lover of gospel music. I think it's in your DNA through the Spear family, if I remember right. Mr. Cruz would come to our church quite often. Quite often. We had singings at our church on a pretty regular basis, and his love of the music, he would always show up. I'd go over and shake his hand. Mr. Cruz would ask me one question. Did y'all put them snakes up? I said, yes, sir. They don't act right when the visitors come. Every time. But he wore out a station wagon driving us around, carrying us to and from the baseball games. And I won't ever forget all those miles. Now, I had to ride in the very back of a station wagon. Those of you that know about a station wagon, the back seat faces out the back window. I never knew when we got to the park till we stopped. I saw all the miles, but I saw them in reverse. No air conditioner back there in that back, so he would always roll the window down. By the time we got to the game, we were so high on gasoline fumes, we were going to play well. Because back in that day, guys, there was lead in the gas. But he led us to an era of baseball today because of his vision. His love for LCHS and his love for baseball has shown through him. He would spend time in my office almost every afternoon from about November to January. He would show up, ask me one question, and he called me Johnny. Johnny, has the baseball schedule come out yet? I said, no, Tom, it won't be out until the middle of February sometime. I said, we'll get it printed up for you then. But he always wanted to know when we were going to play baseball. And you look at the stadium today, and a lot of that is because of this man right there, and it bears his name, Tom Cruise, not to be confused with the actor. Today it's real fitting that we induct him into this Hall of Fame and recognize him, Mr. Tom Cruise, not to be confused. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Cruise.
Our next inductee tonight is Jana Cross-Gobble. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here with us tonight. We all know that the struggle she's having with cancer right now. We'd like to point out in the middle console, we have cards. If you guys want to write a note of encouragement to her, we will get that to her as quickly as possible. So they're there in the little middle plastic thing there if anyone would like to write a note of encouragement. Her induction speaker tonight is Ashley Rutledge. She unfortunately couldn't be here with us tonight, but we do have a video from her that she would like to play.
Hi, I'm Ashley Helton Rutledge, and it is an honor to introduce the newest Lawrence County Sports Hall of Fame. Hi, I'm Ashley Helton Rutledge, and it is an honor to introduce the newest Lawrence County Sports Hall of Fame inductee, Jana Cross-Gobble. Jana was a Loretto graduate in 2006. There, she was a Lady Mustang. She was a star in basketball, volleyball, and softball. She scored over 2,000 points, and her jersey hangs in the rafters at Loretto Gym. Later, she went to Freed-Hardeman University, where she had 4 amazing years. She was an NAIA All-American, and she also scored over 2,000 points in her tenure there. There's 3 ways that I know Jana really well. One is I was her teammate at Freed-Hardeman, and Jana was a walking bucket. I mean, as a guard, I could throw it anywhere close to her. Her hands were so good, she was going to catch it and she was going to score. A lot of times she was outsized. She may have been outmatched, but she always found a way to score. No wonder she scored 2,000 points at Freed-Hardeman. And not only was she just a great teammate, she was so humble. Anytime you made a pass, she always made sure to recognize you and tell you what a good job you did. I've never heard Jana say a bad word about anybody. She's always encouraging. It didn't matter what she was going through. Many know that she has diabetes, and so she could be stepping off in a timeout and checking her blood sugar, drinking a Coke to get her sugar up. But she always did that with a smile, and she always did that with so much grace. And so being her teammate was a huge honor of mine. I was also honored to coach with Jana. In my second year of coaching at Marsville Bible School, I talked her into coming down and coaching with me. And I'll just say those poor kids, we were 2 young coaches and we didn't know a lot of what we were doing. We ran them a lot, but we did have a good time. The kids got better. We made some good memories and made some good relationships with those players. And I was so thankful she was by my side in that time. When I came to Loretto High School, she helped me my first 2 years here at Loretto, and what a big asset that was. Everybody knew Jana. Her legacy was her hard work, her determination, her success, her great attitude. So that was so amazing to have her by my side in my first couple of years at Loretto. Most recently, we've gotten to coach TVBA 4th grade girls, and it's been such a pleasure. But I think my favorite memory was when someone yelled at her daughter, and Jana, and if you know Jana, she's so meek and mild and kind. She yelled right back at her. And that lady was probably double her size. Just like when Jana played in college, she was always outsized. And she yelled at this mama and she was outside, and she looked at me and goes, "I cannot believe I did that." And I said, "Jana, I can't believe you did that either, but just know that if we get in a dark alley, I'm following you and I got your back." We never made it to the dark alley, so that was good. But just having those memories with her, coaching our daughters, was amazing. And the last way that I know Jana, and which is probably the most important to me, is just as a friend and a sister in Christ. Jana's been through a lot in the past year or two. And one thing about her is that she has never lost her faith. And she has never lost her encouraging spirit to build others up. And it is such a blessing to be her friend. She is someone I can always count on to bring a smile to my face. Like I said before, her work ethic is amazing, her determination. And she just carries that through every aspect of life, whether it be her current journey or coaching others or playing the sport. She carries the same attitude with every walk of life. And I would just like to share some scripture from Proverbs 31. There's several verses that really describe Jana, and I would like to share those. And I'll just kind of skip around, but it comes from Proverbs 31. She is energetic and strong, a hard worker. She makes sure her dealings are profitable. Her lamp burns late at night. She extends a helping hand to the poor and opens her arms to the needy. She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. When she speaks, her words are wise, and she gives instruction with kindness. Reward her for all that she has done. Let her deeds publicly declare her praise. Jana, we are all so excited from your teammates, friends, family. We're excited for this honor. You are so deserving to be inducted into the Lawrence County Sports Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Okay. All right. Our next induction speaker tonight will be, her kids are coming up. I apologize. Our next induction speaker tonight will be Scott Franks.
Thank you, AJ. I'll second that on Jana. She and my daughter had many a battle on the basketball floor back in the mid-2000s, and then we're teammates over at Freed Hardeman together. So our thoughts and prayers are with Jana and her family. So I want to express my thanks, first of all, to the X-Team Sports for establishing this Hall of Fame and setting up tonight's event and giving us a place to honor all of our area's outstanding athletic contributors. It's my honor and privilege to present and recognize a Hall of Fame inductee for Summertown High School, Coach Ricky Haddock. Coach Haddock is a second-generation inductee, I believe our first second-generation inductee, into the Hall of Fame, as his father, Mr. Coolidge Haddock, was inducted into the Hall last year. Ricky is a 1971 graduate of Summertown High School. He returned to his alma mater to teach for the next 29 years. During that time, he served as the Eagles baseball coach for 21 of those 29 years. Personally, I never had Ricky as a teacher, but Chris Ivey and I back there did have him as a coach. And we were on his mid-'80s teams, including the 1985 team that finished as state runner-up. I'm sure that's something that was a significant highlight of his career, coaching the two of us. But over his 21-year coaching career, Coach Haddock coached a total of 529 games, had an overall record of 386 wins against only 143 losses, for a winning percentage of 73%. His teams won a total of 12 district championships and 7 region championships. As I mentioned, the 85 team finished as state runners-up, and his 92 team, as John mentioned earlier, won the first TSSAA Class A state championship for Summertown High School. Additionally, his 1997 team also reached the state tournament. He was named District Coach of the Year 12 times, Region Coach of the Year 7 times, inducted into the Tennessee Baseball Coaches Hall of Fame in 2009, and in 2014, the baseball field at Summertown High School was named in his honor. Perhaps the defining moment of Coach Haddock's career came in that 1992 state championship game. So let me set the stage. The Eagles were down by 1 run to Davidson Academy in the bottom of the last inning. There was 1 out, bases loaded. Jason Burleson was on third, Brent Blackwood on second, Aaron Bailey on first. The batter, Doug Lucius, had 2 strikes on him. At this point, Coach Haddock tossed out all conventional baseball wisdom and called for a 2-strike squeeze bunt. As we all know now, Doug got the bunt down successfully. It was mishandled by the defense and allowed not only the tying run to score, but also the winning run to capture the 92 state championship. The video you've been watching behind me, you may have seen where Ricky was having more than one disagreement with the umpires. And I must say, those arguments were really pretty entertaining to watch. I believe at least one of these is a video of him questioning the heritage of the late Mr. Butch McMacken. Coach Haddock's coaching and sports legacy has continued to live on well beyond his own coaching career. Ricky and Linda's oldest son, Scott, was a bat boy on that 85 team, and then Scott was a member of the 92 state championship team. Their youngest son, Trent, was a bat boy on the 92 team and went on to have his own outstanding baseball career. And their daughter, Leah, was also a star athlete at SHS and still holds the girls' basketball scoring record. Following Ricky's retirement, all of the SHS baseball coaches since him have been his former players: Greg Burleson, Jason Burleson, and current head coach Brent Blackwood. All three of them were members of that 92 state champion team. Finally, I'd be remiss, and I think Ricky would want this added, his sidekick and faithful assistant coach during all of that coaching career was Mr. Kenny Campbell. Please join me as we induct and welcome Coach Rick Haddock to the Lawrence County Sports Hall of Fame.
Thank you for this opportunity. My grandson had to come with me. He's my main man. I've been associated with Summertown High School, or Summertown, for, 67 years. I don't know, more than that probably. And I just wanted to thank all the fans at Summertown High School. They're some of the greatest people in the world. Thank you.
Our next induction speaker is Bob Moore.
Good evening. For those of you who know me, you know I'm rather shy. But I will be brief. Are you aware of the fact that Joseph Gaiety invented toilet paper? Most of y'all thought it was probably John Wayne, right? How about David Meisel invented the first flashlight? Let's try one more. Martin Cooper. He's a guy that invented the cell phone as we know it today. We've never heard of these guys. Neither had I. Somebody else wrote this for me. But I'm telling you, it leads right up to the man that I'll be inducting into the Sports Hall of Fame tonight as a contributor. His name is Mr. Alton Hartsfield. Now, I think Ronnie came up last year, and I still owe you $10 over that little bet we made. And I doubt I ever pay you. A lot of people knew him as Alton. A lot of people knew him as Jack. But the kids that played for him and the grown men as well called him Mr. Hartsfield. And he deserved it. Of course, back in those days when we were growing up, if you referred to one of your elders by their first name, you probably got a whipping when you got home. But I can tell you he coached Little League Baseball in Loretta. He coached Babe Ruth. He coached men's baseball. He coached women's softball. He coached in the men's softball league. There's not much Mr. Hartsfield didn't do. I mean, he stood about, 5'6" at the most, but he was always heads above most of the other people that he came in contact with. Highly respected. You know, I probably played more games for Mr. Hartsfield than anybody. Little League, Babe Ruth, men's softball. And I knew a side of him that maybe a lot of folks didn't know. He also had a brilliant sense of humor. He was quiet spoken. Like the time we were sitting on the bench, we were playing softball, the ump made one of the most terrible calls you could even imagine. Did Mr. Hartsfield get upset? No. He smacked me on the leg and he said, now there is a man that needs to see an eye dog. He never yelled at us kids, never. He taught us the basic fundamentals of playing baseball. I'll tell you something else he did. We were just country boys, and we were poor boys. And we'd go off to play games at St. Joe or Leoma or wherever, because he was coaching down for Loretta. And some of us old boys might not have a dime in our pocket. But after the game, for those that were unfortunate enough not to have any money, he always made sure we got a Coke. Always. He probably spent thousands of dollars over the years. I asked him one time, I said, in case you don't know Alton, he is Nikki and Ronnie's grandfather, but he's also got other folks here that is part of the family. He had 2 sons, and but Mr. Hartsfield and I talked quite a bit. And I asked him one day, I said, who do you think is going to be the best baseball player between Nicky and Ronnie? He said, well, I think Nicky will be the best overall athlete. In baseball, he plays hard and he pays attention. But I believe Ronnie is going to be the best baseball player just as soon as he stops fooling around and acting so crazy. Thank you, Ronnie, for stopping all that foolishness. You know, I could just go on and on about Mr. Hartsfield, but the truth of the matter is, he was the best. He was the best. You couldn't keep from loving the guy. I actually told him before he died, I said, Mr. Hartsfield, thank you for everything you've ever done to me. You've been more of an influence on me than you'll ever realize. And I said, I love you, Mr. Hartsfield. And he said, I guess I do you too. Sounds just like you've known him. That's the reason it is, without a doubt, an honor and a privilege, and I am extremely touched to be able to induct Alton Hartsfield into the xSports Lawrence County Sports Hall of Fame. Thank you, sir. It's the grandchildren.
I'll say something. On behalf of the family, I would like to thank xSports, and I'd like to thank Bob for the presentation. But I want to say a little something about my grandfather. We called him Papa. He loved to coach. He'd coach year-round. He'd also coach some, used to call it Bride on Saddle Club basketball. But I know he would be very thankful for this, and I do know that he would be very thankful to all those who played for him. So thank you very much. No picture.
Our next induction speaker is Willie Joyner.
Good evening. First of all, on behalf of myself and Lawrence County High School, which I'm proud to represent here tonight, I want to congratulate all of tonight's inductees into the Lawrence County Sports Hall of Fame. You all have played a vital role in the rich history of athletics here in Lawrence County, and we are very proud of all of you, and I just want to congratulate all of you tonight. I also want to congratulate the student athletes that were recognized earlier, and also to xSports, I just want to thank you for everything that you do for our student athletes and for our schools and for our coaches here in Lawrence County. I don't see how you do it. It's just amazing what you do, but please know that it is appreciated by our student athletes and our coaches. Jana Killen is a 1982 graduate of Lawrence County High School. While she was at LCHS, she played volleyball, basketball, and softball. She excelled in all of those sports. She was an all-district performer her sophomore, junior, and senior years there at Lawrence County High School. I was fortunate enough to be a classmate of Jana's. We graduated together there in 1982. She was also the homecoming queen that year, which just kind of speaks to the kind of person she was and how her classmates felt about her and how much they loved her. After high school, she went on to the University of North Alabama, where she excelled on the basketball team there. Her team won the 1985 GSC Conference Tournament. She was an all-tournament player that year for UNA. During her career at UNA, she scored 452 career points, 95 rebounds, 114 assists, and had a 75.6 free throw percentage, which is really good. She went on to get her bachelor's degree in math and health and physical education, and a master's degree in PE as well from UNA. After graduation, she served there at UNA as a graduate assistant and coached for a couple of years before taking over the basketball program at Deschler High School in Tuscumbia, Alabama in 1989. And what she did from that point, and she is still their coach today, is just absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to take it kind of slow as I read these stats, just so you can just kind of let them soak in a little bit. 26 area championships, which, folks, for us in Tennessee, that's our district. 16 regional championships. They've been the state runner-up 5 times, and they've brought home 8 state championship trophies. Now, I did mention that I graduated with her, so you know how young she is. She's going to continue to add to that, I know. So not only has she excelled in those championship areas, but she currently holds the record for the most wins by any basketball coach in the Alabama High School Athletic Association's history, with 927 wins against 225 losses. That's an 81% winning percentage. She's been the Class 4A State Basketball Coach of the Year 3 different times. She's also coached volleyball in addition to basketball. She's coached tennis. She's coached softball. She's coached swimming. In volleyball, she has 1,065 wins, 499 losses. And they have 16 area championships and 6 regional appearances and Final Four appearances as well. When Jana was a freshman, she played the last season in the state of Tennessee where they played 6-on-6. She and one of our other freshman classmates was on the varsity team. That was the last year they played 6-on-6 in the state of Tennessee, transitioned to 5-on-5, and Jana never missed a beat. I mean, she was built for that. She was built for that, and we're glad that our state made that decision, but she made that transition in fine fashion. The Deschler High School basketball court was named in her honor in 2021. She was inducted into the Colbert County Sports Hall of Fame in 2008, the Alabama High School Athletic Association Hall of Fame in 2021, the University of North Alabama Athletic Hall of Fame in 2022, And tonight, it gives me great pleasure in adding to that list as I present Jana Killen for induction into the Lawrence County Sports Hall of Fame.
I'll make this real brief. First of all, of course, I want to thank my family. They always made sure I was wherever I needed to be growing up, playing sports in Lawrence County, which is a great place to grow up. My mom, Glenda Killen, my dad, who's passed away, Sonny Killen. Of course, I was always chasing my brother around trying to beat him in whatever he was playing. So he says he was the reason I was excelling in sports was because of him. So thank you, Joey. But this goes back to my coaches. Lawrence County was filled with so many good coaches. I go back to Mickey Dunn. He was my junior high coach. Awesome coach. Pat Souders. They were like a double team coaching duo there. Then I went to Lawrence County High. I had, starting out with volleyball, I had Brenda Wright. She was my ultimate role model. I thought she was the best coach ever, the best biology teacher. So not only did I want to be a great coach, I wanted to be a great teacher. It was because I saw her doing both things so well. And then, of course, I had Garner Ezel. First, I had Jimmy Freeman, he was awesome, fun to be around. And then the following year, I played for Garner Ezel. Softball, I also played for Brenda Wright and Gary Norwood. And Lawrence County just had wonderful coaches. Mr. Cruz was my principal, and so that goes back. But thank you, Lawrence County, and thank you, xSports, for doing this. It's very humbling when I see who all's inducted that y'all chose me. Thank you.
Will Pettis is our next induction speaker. I'd like to thank him for dressing up tonight. Looks very dapper.
All right, well, you know, Ralph Benson, who was inducted into this hall last year, he coached at Summertown somewhere around 15, 16 years, I believe. And 9 of those years he coached the girls as well. So point being, Coach Benson saw a lot of players come and go while he was at Summertown. But from my understanding, during his entire time at Summertown, he had photos of 3 of his players on his wall. And so if these 3 players were special enough to him to stand out, they should stand out to us as well. So the players, as I know it, that were on his wall were Wiki White and Jackie Land, who were both inducted to the Hall of Fame here last year. And our next inductee was the 3rd photo on the wall, Mr. Tommy Land. Tommy Land was with us last year when his older brother Jackie was inducted, and Tommy came and he received that award on his late brother's behalf, and now Tommy's with us here again today to receive his own reward. His brother Jackie was about 6'4", which was tall in those days, so I'm sure Ralph Benson was hoping or expecting a growth spurt from Tommy that never came. Tommy at 5'9", from the pictures I've seen, it looked like he was about the shortest one on the team. His brother's Jackie, his shot was like a 2-handed overhead shot. Tommy was more of a set shot, and he developed quite a reputation for his awesome set shot. He said when Ralph came, Summertown really didn't know how to shoot jump shots, and so one of the first things Ralph did when he came was make sure everybody knew how to shoot a jump shot. But Tommy was at Summertown just at a really interesting time. He was able to play one season with his older brother Jackie. That would be Tommy's freshman year. And that they were able to play at the old Summertown gym, if you believe there was an older one, the old Summertown gym. And so he played there, the one that was torn down a couple of years ago. And that same season, Tommy was able to play on Lawrence County's new gym floor, which is now E.O. Kaufman. And so the day that they dedicated that gym, and the governor came down, a very special occurrence, Summertown upset Lawrence County that day, and Tommy got to play a little bit in that game as a freshman. His sophomore year was the first season that Ralph Benson came to coach, and so I'm sure that was special. And then his junior year, Tommy played in the first ever game at Summertown's current gym, which surprisingly is not a memory that really sticks out to him. I tried to ask him, what do you remember about that first game? And not much stuck out, but he did play at the first game in that current gym, which was 71 years ago now, coming up. But his senior year, 55-56, was really the historic season when point guard Tommy Land led his team to the state tournament for the first time in Summertown High School history. Tommy was on the all-mid-state team that season alongside very well-known Albert Ellison from Perry County. They graduated the same time, and they had some epic battles with each other. One of Tommy's favorite memories is when he hit 2 free throws with 10 seconds left at Linden in order to take the victory there. And it doesn't matter which era I hear people talk about, that when they say they went into Linden and won, that it was a very hostile environment. They were not used to losing. They acted crazy. And he told me that. My dad told me that when he played there. Like I always hear that about playing at Perry County. They were not used to losing. Tommy apparently felt right at home on Vanderbilt's court because in the state tournament, the game that he played in, he was the high scorer in that game with 24. And we hear this a lot from players in those days. They say, if there was a three-point line, back then I would have had a lot more. And so Tommy would certainly tell you that. Tommy, would you believe we're about to celebrate the 70th anniversary of your state tournament, your senior year? This coming season will be the 70th anniversary of Summertown's first appearance in the state tournament. Interesting tidbit from Tommy's life outside of sports. After he graduated, he went straight to Washington, D.C. to work for the FBI for a year or so. And he was a fingerprint clerk there, and he helped identify once one of the top 10 most wanted criminals, and as a reward for that, he got to shake the hand of J. Edgar Hoover. So I'm about to shake the hand of a man who has shaken the hand of J. Edgar Hoover. So I'm so glad he's here with us tonight with his family. Everyone, please welcome to the Lawrence County Sports Hall of Fame, the 1956 Summertown point guard, Tommy Land.
Our next induction speaker again is Willie Joyner.
Coach Jim Thompson is a 1970 graduate of Lawrence County High School. While there, he excelled in basketball and football. And in the summers, he played Babe Ruth baseball, pitching in the state tournament on 3 different occasions. As Coach Weathers mentioned in Mr. Cruz's induction just a second ago, this was before they had the organized baseball team reinstated at Lawrence County High School. After high school, Coach Thompson went on to play football at Austin Peay State University in Clarksville. He also played basketball 1 year while he was there. After his graduation there, he moved to Charleston, South Carolina, where he coached football and JV basketball for a couple of years. Then he returned to Murfreesboro to be a graduate assistant, coach football at Middle Tennessee State University. He did that for 1 year, but he was there long enough to meet Miss Elaine and get married. She was my French teacher in high school. Oui. That's about all I can remember, Miss Thompson. I'm sorry. And it's probably not for the reason that it actually is supposed to mean. But this is really not about Coach Thompson, but I think it's neat the way they met. Elaine's dad was searching, and this is back before Google, so he had to work, and he found that the cheapest education was at Middle Tennessee State University in Murfreesboro. You lived in Ohio, right? Yeah. So that's where you're going, daughter. That's where you're going. And she met Jim. They moved back to Charleston. They spent a year there, and then they both returned to Lawrence County High School in the fall of 1978. Upon his return to Lawrence County High School, Coach Thompson coached basketball for 8 years, 6 as an assistant, 2 years as a head coach. He spent 2 years as a baseball coach, 8 years as a football coach, I think I mentioned that, but 18 years as our school's golf coach. Enjoyed a lot of success there. I was fortunate enough to be able to play for Coach Thompson my senior year in high school. He was definitely a player's coach. I learned so much from him. Not only did it help me then, but helped me later when I coached. And then he was able to help me when I was coaching to help me scout. And he would go and come back with a scouting report on teams, and was a very integral part of any success that we were able to have there. And it was just really neat to be able to get to talk to your high school coach about what he had seen, and for him to help you break down an opponent and tell you what you needed to do. And that was always very effective, and I was always appreciative of that, and those are always fond memories for me. If you know Coach Thompson, he's got a pretty dry sense of humor. He would just kind of look at you with that grin sometimes. I've seen it on the floor. I've seen it on the bench, because I always got in foul trouble, and I spent a lot of time with him there. I was just a little slow, so I was grabbing a lot. But we went to Springfield, just north of Nashville, to play in a Christmas tournament, and we were going to spend the night. We'd never done that. That was big doings. And so Coach Thompson was there trying to get us checked in. All of us guys were standing over there, and the clerk told him, said, "Coach, we've only got 2 rooms." And I saw that little grin, and then he looked and said, "Guys, me and Elaine are in this one. Y'all are all in the other one." And fortunately, they got something done. We didn't have to do that. But those are fond memories. Coach Thompson also, when time allowed, he was a commentator on the xSports network and was a color analyst there alongside Foxy for many years. In the fall of 1997, Coach Thompson's daughter, Bryn, was a freshman on our basketball team, and we were going to play a Christmas tournament up in Ohio, and that team had a website, and it just really captured Coach Thompson's energy and enthusiasm. He came back and he set up a website for our basketball team. Now, this is in 1997. The internet's pretty young at that time, and he toyed with that, monkeyed around with it that year. The next year he expanded it to cover District 8 AAA, and then the next year CoachT.com was kicked off, and that's been close to 30 years now. And CoachT.com is still a valuable source of information for coaches, students, athletes, fans all over the state of Tennessee. They have covered through the years every high school, every sport, and it's expanded, and I know all of you are familiar with that in this room, but he has done a great job, not only as a coach, but as a contributor to all of athletics. In February of 2024, this past school year, a year ago, Lawrence County High School was pleased to present Coach Thompson with the Outstanding Achievement Award for all of his many contributions to athletics at Lawrence County High School. And tonight, it gives me great pleasure to present him to you for induction into the Lawrence County Sports Hall of Fame.
Our next induction speaker back at it again. Hopefully he's got the nerves out this time. It's Nick Moore again.
Thanks, AJ, for pointing out my flaws. So tonight I'm here to, and this is a great honor to me. When they called me and asked me to do this, I kind of paused for a minute, and then they were like, "Are you there?" And I was like, "Yeah, give me just a second." Is to induct Coach Toner into this Hall of Fame. Coach Toner graduated from Bessemer High School in 1960 after lettering for 3 years in baseball and football. While attending Florence State College, UNA for the younger people, he again lettered 3 years in football and track. He started his coaching career at Huntsville High School in 1964 and became the head coach at Hatton High School in 1967. From 1971 to 1984, he coached at Lexington High School and jumped to Rogers High School from 1985 to 1989. He ended his coaching career at Loretta High School from 1989 to 1997. And I'm going to read this. I stole this. So, as a head coach, his niche was turning losing programs into winners, and remarkably, he compiled a 190 to 96 record at 4 different programs with a 66.4% win percentage. His teams were known for being overachievers. I don't know if I like that or not, but it is what it is. In Lauderdale County, he was Coach of the Year 6 times and chalked up the same award 3 times at Loretto. Coach Toner was also named Lawrence County Citizen of the Year in 1995. During his time at Loretto, Coach Toner had a win-loss record of 67-36, winning 65% of his games. He also went 6-6 in the playoffs and outscored his opponents 2,774 to 1,634. His only losing season was his first in Loretta in 1989 with a 2-8 record, but things turned quickly next season, going 9-2. Coach was responsible for the renovation of the stadium, building new weight room, and adding new lights. When I asked Coach Toner about this, he said all these things were made possible by Principal David Daniel. If you didn't know Mr. Daniel, like a lot of us do, Mr. Daniel is struggling right now physically as well. He's battling cancer. So when you do leave here, please think of Mr. Daniel. Also, with that said, the faithful followers and supporters of Mustang football for their time and efforts in helping make things happen. Coach Toner worked tirelessly to build young men throughout his football programs. Coach led like a Christian dictator. I say that jokingly, kinda. Things like cursing, using tobacco and alcohol were not tolerated, nor was horseplay and bad manners. We held hands and prayed before every game. His paddle deterred most things unless you were Nick Moore and wanted to see what all you could get a paddling for. I don't mean I was a bad kid, but there was a very thin line for what met your paddle to your rear end. So with that said, I'd like to tell you a little story about horseplay. We thought it would be fun one day when Coach Toner came in. He called us, told us to go to his office. We knew what that meant. We were going to get to look the eyes of a Mustang on the other side of his desk while he warmed up our backside. We thought that if we only wore our little jockey straps in there, he wouldn't paddle us as hard. We were wrong. That did not deter me to keep finding out why he had this lump on his forehead every time he got upset and his paddle touched my rear end. Discipline was the name of the game. We went into every game with confidence and, of course, being in shape. Coach believed that his team should not be tired during the fourth quarter, and we worked accordingly to assure his goal. Nothing like running what we called the Death March or the Trail of Puke, and the name says it all, or the 10-100s, 880s, 660s in spring, the 440s in late July going into August. Those were wonderful, wonderful times, if you could imagine. We were titans of the weight room. As well as my senior year, we had over 35 young men that could bench press over 350 pounds, a few over 400, and one that could bench press 500. Nobody knew how much we could do with our legs because the leg sled stayed loaded to the max, and you just did whatever weight was on there because coach didn't have time to wait on you to take the weight off. So you pushed the sled. Coach Toner also let us all know that there's nothing to do with Loretta that has you involved with it because we were Loretta, not you. Later on in life, I was approached by an older gentleman who asked me if I played football. And I think he recognized me from somewhere. And I told him that I did. And when he asked me who I played for, I told him Coach Toner. It was just like something had changed. That man approached me a little closer and almost embraced me with a handshake and a pat on the back. And we had a conversation standing at the gas pumps in Lexington, Alabama, in the rain, and had no clue who he was. And the temperature and the weather never bothered me. But when I left that conversation, I automatically knew that I was part of a fraternity that meant something: discipline, hard work, and perseverance. We're happy to have Coach here today and some of his relatives, his sons, along with us tonight to receive his award. As a former Mustang and player for Coach, I am honored to present Coach Butch Toner as the newest member of the Lawrence County Sports Hall of Fame. Our next induction speaker is David Morgan.
Well, I'll try to make it brief, but you gave a preacher and a new politician the microphone. So it's an honor to be here tonight among such esteemed citizens and athletes in Lawrence County history, and I just want to say thank you to xSports tonight for the opportunity to share this honor of a dear friend of mine. So I wore my Jordans tonight, not because I'm in a midlife crisis, but because the closest thing I ever came to playing ball with Michael Jordan was when I was on the court with this young man growing up. And to be honest, I'm really here because I taught Cedric Wallace everything he knows about basketball. There are moments in life when you just know. You may not be able to explain it, but something in your spirit tells you that you're witnessing someone truly special. I had one of those moments when I was just 6 years old. It was during vacation Bible school at First Assembly of God in Lawrenceburg. There was a kid there who seemed to stand not just literally, but figuratively, head and shoulders above everyone else. He wasn't loud, he wasn't boastful, but there was a quiet strength about him, a presence, even then, when he was 8 and I was 6, that I could tell that he was marked for something greater. A few years later, that same quiet presence became a fierce, undeniable force on the basketball courts in Lawrence County. At LPS, there was one team that we always dreaded facing, and that was West Highland Elementary School. Not because of their great coach, I don't even know who that was, or because of the gym, but because of one player. And when you see him walk into the gym, you already knew tonight was going to be a long, difficult night. That feeling never went away, not for his opponents and not for those of us lucky enough to get to call him friend and play ball with him. As he matured, so did his game, and by the time he was a senior at Lawrence County High School, he stood 6'3". I thought it was 6'4", but who's counting? 6'3", and had already etched his name into the school's record books as its all-time leading scorer. In the 1995 season, he was simply unstoppable. Averaged 31.7 points per game, shooting 66% from the floor. Out of every 3 shots that went up, 2 of them went in. And he added 8.7 rebounds and 5.2 assists per game. He led the Wildcats to a 24-6 record and their first district title in over 24 years. That year, he was rightfully named Mr. Basketball for the state of Tennessee, as well as District 8 AAA Player of the Year. He wasn't just scoring points. Cedric Wallace was creating memories, energizing the crowd with high-flying dunks and drawing standing ovations with the highlight reel type plays every single game. And if you were there in the 90s during that era, the Ralph was packed every single game, wasn't it, Willie? You remember wall to wall, people standing to watch this team play. He didn't just play the game, Cedric elevated the game. Following high school, he was highly recruited by Tennessee, LSU, MTSU, numerous other big colleges. Mississippi State had just gone to the Final Four the year before, and that's who he chose to go play for. His athletic gifts took him to Mississippi State, then on to Middle Tennessee State University after he suffered an injury his freshman year that back in 1995 was a very difficult injury to ever overcome. Cedric went on to play at MTSU, and he did really well there, and eventually played professional ball across seas in Europe, specifically in Holland, for their national team. But as bright as his basketball star shone, there was a deeper calling beginning to rise in Cedric. That calling had a name, and a name I knew very well, and after meeting a certain beautiful young blonde-headed, blue-eyed girl who's also happened to be my sister Heather, his dreams shifted, and now, unfortunately for me, a self-proclaimed, by the way, Rotary basketball legend, I now knew that if Heather started dating Cedric and they ended up getting married, that I would no longer get to be the self-proclaimed best basketball player in the Morgan family. I had 4 older brothers, and that was my desire to beat every one of them. So I had to just settle for being second. For Cedric, life started to change, and so did his priorities. He began to lay down the game that he loved in order to pursue a life of purpose, family, and faith. He hung up his sneakers not because he had to, but because he chose to. And that decision, in my eyes, is what makes him truly great. Because as much as I admired his game on the court, I admire even more the man that he is today. A loving husband, a devoted father, a spiritual leader, a humble servant, and a man of God. The kind of man you want your sons to become, and that you want your daughters to marry. The kind of man who chooses ministry over recognition, character over applause, and legacy over fame. That's why tonight we don't just honor an athlete, we honor a legacy. One that began in a VBS classroom, grew into a small town gym, and continues to echo in the lives that he touches today. And so it is with a great honor and my personal joy to introduce to you the newest member of the Lawrence County Sports Hall of Fame, my brother-in-law, Cedric Wallace. So tonight, Cedric couldn't be here. Cedric couldn't be here tonight, and the reason says everything about the man he's become. He's fulfilling a ministry commitment that he would never cancel, not even for this incredible personal honor. But that's Cedric, and that's why the recognition is all the more meaningful. So tonight, receiving this honor on his behalf is his beautiful mother, and she's deserving of recognition because she's the woman that drove him to games, fed him, prayed for him, believed in him, whipped his tail when he needed it, and cheered louder than anybody else in the stands. So tonight, welcome Miss Brenda Reed as she receives this gift.
I'm just going to say a few words. Pastor Dave, you did absolutely wonderful. He's right. My brother is all of that. But I will say one thing. I taught him everything he knows on that basketball field. On that basketball court. Although my mom's 6'1", I'm 5'6", I still taught him everything he knows. But I will say this. There's a young man out there somewhere. I don't know where he's at. But Cedric's first love in sports was football. He played Pop Warner football, and he played football all the way up to freshman in high school. And then some kid hit him so hard that he laid down that football and he picked up that basketball. So thank goodness for that young man, because we would not be here today if it would not be for him. Thank you, guys.
Our next induction speaker is actually in our initial Hall of Fame class, and before she makes her way up here, this is what we had written for her. She couldn't be with us a year ago, but this is what we have written for her, so we'll go ahead and read it now. Jennifer White was the MVP for her team at Loretto. Her sophomore, junior, and senior years was named Miss LHS in 1979. She's also the Mid-State Player of the Year numerous years, as well as being selected for all-district, all-region, and all-state teams. Her efforts propelled her to the 2,000-point club at Loretto, scoring an amazing 2,928 points. She and her teammates played in the state semifinals in 76, 77, and 78, and state runners-up in her senior year in 79. She's also a member of Loretto's first volleyball team her senior year in 1978. After graduating from Loretto, Jennifer went on to attend Louisiana Tech. She helped them win 2 national championships as a player, another as a coach. Jennifer played in the Final Four all 4 years of Louisiana Tech, was an all-tournament in the 1983 tournament. She was the women's basketball freshman of the year in college basketball in 1980. It's the youngest female ever to be selected to play on the international team. She won the Lady Texter Award in 1983 and was the captain of her team that year. After graduating from Louisiana Tech, she was an assistant coach there before going on to be an assistant coach at the University of Texas and the head coach and assistant athletic director at St. Edward's University. Jennifer also participated in officiating in women's basketball at the D1, 2, 3, NAI, and junior college levels. She also owned a sports and fitness business in Austin, Texas for 11 years, where she trained over 650 athletes. Our next induction speaker is Jennifer White.
Thank you, guys. The first thing I want to say is congratulations to all the student athletes out there that won awards. That's thumbs up. I understand about blood, sweat, tears, and spit. I've done it all. The second thing is I'd like to say congratulations to my cousin Ricky. They got inducted to the Hall of Fame. And Coach Toner, I always remember the time that you told me, Jennifer, if I would have been at your school when you were at Loretto High School, you would have asked me to play receiver for you, and you know I would have done it. I'd have played for you, sure would. But I'm here about my sister. And let me tell you about my sister. The reason that I got to do what you just saw is as a little kid, I watched her. And I watched everything she did, y'all. I remember being in Ray and Killen's store. A lot of you will know that store. And I was just a little kid, like 4th grade. And Beverly was doing some really big stuff in basketball. And these 2 old guys were talking. And they said, see that right there? That's Beverly White. And they said, man, she's good. They said, you know, she got a little sister. And that man said, she'll never be as good as her sister. That's the reason. She's the reason that I got to do all that stuff. My sister motivated me. She attended Loretto High School, 1972 through 76. She was a member of the band. That's why I played trumpet. My sister played trumpet. I had to play trumpet in the band all 4 years. She was voted most athletic all 4 years there. She was the MVP her senior year. She was also a member of the 2000 club. She's 3rd in scoring at Loretto High School. And the main thing I want you to know about my sister, she was amazing, y'all. She had an amazing offensive weapon. She could stop on a dime, jump up, and she had a left-handed shot. It was beautiful. But the reason that she could do that, most people don't know. Our first basketball goal was out in a cow pasture, honest to goodness. So you know what's in a cow pasture? Cows. Cows would dump on our court, and she'd say, Jenny Bug, go get the shovel. I'd go get the shovel. I'd shovel off the cow patties, and she would go up to that cow patty, jump up and shoot her left-handed jumper, and because if you didn't go straight up and straight down, you know where you landed, cow patty. That's where she learned to stop on a dime and shoot. She was amazing. We went to Lexington High School our first years of school. My dad was the principal. Our mom was the PE teacher. They didn't have girls basketball in Alabama. And my sister was out in that pasture all the time practicing. So she went to my dad and my mom. She said, I want to go to St. Joe. And they said, you can go. So she went to St. Joe. She's in the 8th grade when she does that. I'm in the 5th grade. We would go watch her play at St. Joe, and she was amazing, y'all. It was amazing to watch her do this thing that I've been watching her do in the cow pasture, and now she was doing it on a real team. It was amazing. She got hurt chasing a boy. One day, she turned so fast, she threw her knee out. She had to have a surgery, and back then, when you had a knee surgery, you were 9 weeks in a cast. It was devastating. I watched my sister work her behind off to come back and play at Loretta High School her freshman year. I watched her lift sandbags. I watched her lift ankle weights. Then she would lay down in our parents' bedroom and lift weights and do upper body work. At Loretta High School, she was amazing. I got to watch her win award after award and scoring after scoring, and she was just amazing at what she did. And that motivated me. I wanted to be just like my sister, just like her. Everything she did with hard work and effort, and it was just so motivating for a little kid like me. But you know, a lot of people today, they look to the music industry for their heroes. They look to the athletic industry for their heroes. They look to the entertainment industry for their heroes. Do you know where I had to look for mine? Right across the hallway at our house. I just had to look right there, and there stood my hero. And now I want you to welcome me in celebrating the most important person in my life right now, other than Jesus, my sister, Beverly White. Well, I'm not going to let her outdo me now either. No, I just want to say what an honor and privilege it is to be nominated and to be able to be in this Sports Hall of Fame. I was so excited when I got the call. I thought, who's going to remember me from 49 years ago? That's a long time. So I really appreciate it more than you know. And I want to thank my parents who's watching this in heaven right now, because with both of us in the Hall of Fame, if they were here right now, they would be at Walmart tomorrow telling everybody they met. They wouldn't know them, but everybody would know about me and Jennifer. And that's the reason them and my sister are the reason I was as good a player as I was, because my parents, she took my story. I had that written down about the cow pasture, because I do think that skill set that those cow patties gave us, dribbling around them, stopping and jumping, I do think that gave us an edge when we were young. And we had a ball goal since we can ever remember, since we were just tiny kids. And our parents were so sports-minded. We didn't get to watch Little House on the Prairie and, you know, Tarzan and Shirley Temple. We was watching sports on TV because our parents loved sports. So we grew up with that. So I'm just thankful to my parents. I'm thankful to Jennifer, because if it hadn't been for her being so competitive with me, there's no way me and her can play one-on-one against each other. We need officials to do that, and there would be lots of technicals. We can play with other people and be on different teams, but me and her just playing one-on-one against each other, it goes bad. It's bad. We got spankings over that, let's just say. But I do appreciate this award, and I'm just so honored and so thankful and so blessed. And again, I can't thank my sister enough, because it wasn't for her competitiveness with me, that just made me better also. And so I thank all of y'all. I want to thank my teammates at Loretta, because they made me better. They made me a good player. They were competitive. We had really great teams at Loretta when I played. And Cheryl, my best friend, is sitting back there now, and she's got her head down. But I've got to just mention her. She played on our team. She was a tough player. We had great players. And I want to mention the Loretta community. We had full gyms. I mean, we had people coming. The gyms were full. Even away games were full. We were so blessed to have such a great, strong girls basketball community at Loretta when I was there. And so thank y'all again. I appreciate it. I'm honored and blessed. And y'all really don't know what this means to me. It's more than you could ever know. Thank you.
Our final induction speaker is Curtis Peters.
I remember Beverly because I was assistant coach at Summertown High School and we had to play against her. And I remember Jennifer because I was the junior high coach at Summertown and had to play against her too. So they were tough. But I'm up here to introduce somebody who is a very, very close friend of mine. And if you want me to tell stories, I helped him coach for over 30 years. He conned me into doing that several years ago. Bobby Wyrick graduated from Summertown High School in 1969, graduated from MTSU, and he started his career teaching at E.O. Kaufman. Well, after 3 years, you had to get tenure, but E.O. Kaufman's number of students dropped down. So Bobby got the offer he could be principal at Liberty Grove, or he could go teach 5th grade at Ingram South, or he could be the head basketball coach at Summertown. So he picked Summertown. So in 1977, Bobby came to Summertown. And if you know that period of time, that's when you're switching over. We've been played traditionally 6-on-6 girls basketball. I coached 6-on-6 junior high and helped with the high school. And so Bobby came and coached 6-on-6 the first year up there. He conned me to help him coach. And so then the next year we switched over to coaching 5-on-5. Well, that was all well and good, but half the girls that we had on the team had always played guard. They couldn't hit the backboard with a basketball. And so Bobby was in a difficult time. He had to teach those girls try to shoot the ball a little bit and get it close to the rim so we could rebound it. But he coached basketball at Summertown for over 11 years. He coached junior high and high school. He carried 2 of his junior high teams to the, I think it was the Tennessee Invitational State Tournament at that time. Leah Haddock over here was on the team that he went undefeated with that year, and they won 2 state tournaments, and she was on one of the 2 that they won. But Bobby's biggest forte, he coached basketball, but he loved softball. He coached lots of independent girls softball league teams and stuff like that. So in 1979, the state of Tennessee decided they were going to add some girls' sports. So they added volleyball and they added softball. Well, in the falls, volleyball started. So Summertown High School started a girls' volleyball team. Then when spring came around, Bobby wanted to start a softball team, and I was going to help him with the softball team. We went to see the principal. He said, "Oh, we can't start but one new girls' sport a year." And so he wouldn't let us start softball that year. So we had to wait till 1980, and in 1980, Bobby started the first girls' softball team at Summertown High School. When you played in those days, you had to travel to the ends of the earth to find somebody to play because not every school had a team. And we had miles and miles of travel to go find games to play. I think those first few years we played maybe 20 games a year at the most. But that's you know, we had to do it to play the games. And we were lucky enough that the girls that we had, when they graduated, they got married, and they had kids, Bobby stayed around long enough that he ended up coaching the kids of the kids he had started out coaching. And that's awesome if you get the chance to do that. So he was at Summertown, coached basketball for over 11 years. Softball, we started in 1980. He coached for 32 and a half years. And in those 32 and a half years, I think at 32 years, he won 25 district championships, 5 regional championships. We went to 10 sub-state tournaments, and Bobby's team finished in the Final Four in 1983 and 1984. I want to tell you a couple stories. In softball, we always had to play CA. CA being a private school, they could recruit, and they had some really good softball players. And they were always one of our biggest adversaries. One year we're playing them, they had the best team in the district. We had played them, they had beat us, I think, during the season. Yeah, we got to the tournament, and they beat us the first game they played us in the district tournament. Rained. We got down to the last day, we had to get done. And so Summertown, we had to play against them at their field. And so Bobby had 3 pitchers. We had to play Wayne County. So in the first game, Summertown team beat Wayne County, shut them out. The second game, played CA, shut them out the second game. And the third game, played CA again, shut them out. So Bobby's best day of softball, played 27 innings and didn't give up a run scoring. So that was pretty good. In his career at Summertown, he finished up with 680 wins, which at that time he was one of the top 5 winningest coaches in the state of Tennessee in softball. In 2014, Summertown High School named the softball field after him, and in 2015, Coach Wyrick was inducted into the Tennessee Softball Coaches Association Hall of Fame. And it's my honor to announce Bobby Wyrick as the newest member of the Lawrence County Sports Hall of Fame. And I've had him worried to death that he was going to have to give a big long speech when he got up here.
That will conclude our ceremony tonight. Also, all of our award winners for our current student athletes and for our Hall of Fame winners as well, and those who got the awards for them. If you don't mind sticking around here at the end to take a picture. But I'd like to thank everybody for coming here tonight. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you guys once again in 2026.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the xSports Network.